Welcome, welcome, and thrice welcome to Ride with Nick. This week I'm very excited. We have got this from Ducati Manchester. This is the Ducati Desert X. So looking forward to this. This £14,000 Ducati Desert X is all new ground for Ducati. It's going right into the heart of a kind of sleeper class rally raid motorcycles, which at the moment is dominated by the KTM 890 Adventure R and of course the seminal Honda Africa Twin. This is the first modern Ducati to be rocking a 21-inch front wheel coupled with an 18-inch rear wheel. We've got quite a challenging 875mm seat height. We've got a 23-litre fuel tank, which is good for 250 miles. And there is, in fact, just to give it authentic credibility, an optional extra 8-litre tank, which gives this bike a very serious range of 375 miles, which is stepping right on the toes of the BMW Adventure GS. Round here at the front of the business end of this motorcycle, we've got this phenomenal 21-inch spoked wheel. This is running a dual sport tyre, which is the Pirelli Scorpion Rally STR, and it's a 90 by 90 21. It's hanging off a pair of 46mm fully adjustable KYB forks, and then all of this is held in check here by two 320mm semi-floating discs on a radial mounted monoblock Brembo caliper. It is all beautiful, maybe quite excessive for a dual sport bike, but it's absolutely going to do the job. All of this is giving this bike a phenomenal 250mm of ground clearance, and then here at the front we've got a fixed screen and what Ducati claim is the brightest LED light in its class. So tucked underneath this rather funky looking fuel tank and slab-sided bodywork is an all-new slimline steel trellis chassis. And that is housing this motor, 1.7 kilograms lighter. It's been lifted from the Monster and the V2 Multistrada. This is the liquid-cooled 937cc Testastretta motor. This is good for 110 horsepower at 9,250 revs, and we are pulling a very decent 68 foot-pounds of torque. So coming around to the back here, we've got a matching KYB adjustable monoshock underneath there. We've got a lovely conventional aluminium swing arm, and this is running the 150/70/18. So we've got an 18-inch spoked rear wheel, and again, it's the Scorpion Rally STR dual sport tire. Brembo caliper on the back, 2-pot piston, and it's on a 265mm fully floating disc. This bike is fitted with Bosch cornering ABS, and then we also have six different riding modes. 4 of those are predominantly for on-road use, and they are sport, touring, wet and urban, and we've then got 2 specific modes for off-road use, a kind of off-road light, which is enduro, and then an off-road full fat, which is rally. And all that is engineered and controlled up here by this very funky smartphone style 5-inch TFT dash. There's not much more going on here. It's fairly simple, but it certainly does the job. And we've got some lovely touches with the round mirrors, kind of mimicking the round fuel cap cover set off to one side, and then these decals which have been added by Ducati Manchester. First time I saw this bike as a concept in Motorcycle News and then as a finished product last year. I've been itching to get my hands on it. We're not going to get a chance to take it off-road, at least not today, but we are going to take it out and see where it will spend most of its time, probably in most people's hands, on the road. Is it as good as it looks?
Well, it's safe to say this bike has not let me down at all. I was so excited about it, and still am. I figured it has to disappoint in some way, shape or form. it's going to turn out in some way to be a bit cack. Because that's often the way these things go. You look forward to something for so long, and then when you finally get out there on a holiday, it's a crap hotel. And it spoils the whole thing. Well, not this time. There are not many motorcycles that you'd be happy to be picking up the keys for a day or two before December. But this is absolutely one of them. It's a stonking little motorcycle. The engine is punchy. At low revs it sounds a bit mechanical and harsh. But once you get it up and running, get some heat into it, and let it fly, it pulls this bike along in a highly acceptable and very satisfying way. The steering is splendid. It's light, it's nimble, you sit high up with this fantastic elevated riding position. The screen is super good. It's only small, but I'm 6 foot tall, and it keeps everything off of me. I'm not feeling uncomfortable in any way, shape or form. It looks great. It goes great. Gear change. It's a little bit strange on the downturn when you're coming down from fourth in a hurry. You've got to pull the lever all the way in. If you two-finger change, it gets a bit lost. But the gearbox is slick and smooth. The quick shift is right on the money. I like the 5-inch screen. I didn't think I would. I figured it'd be a bit too small. I'm used to a big 10-inch TFT display. Not necessary. It completely suits the style of this bike and the character of it, which is playful. It's a very playful motorcycle. The roads were so horrible this morning, I thought, how much of this bike's potential can you actually explore? But even on these tyres, it gives you oodles of confidence. As I said, just steer it through the big wide bars. You can kind of point your knee where you want to go if you like. So when the signs say slow, it says no, let's go. Wow, I'm a poet, didn't know it. Okay, so let's behave ourselves. And slow down sufficiently to just get a grip of it. There's nothing much here. You've got your start stop, you've got your heated grips, which I haven't had to use thanks to this lovely new pair of Rucker gloves. You've got cruise control on the left. I've not felt inclined to test it out. Don't know if it's really a cruise control kind of guy. You've got the modes on the left, which are a bit fiddly to start with, but eventually I got to grips with them. I'd say for some reason I keep catching the full beam on the front there. I don't know why, it just seems to be where my finger doesn't want me to be. There we are, 30, 29, 20. Now we're in a 20. So the controls are all functional and acceptable. We've got a steering damper mounted here, we've got a key, all of the things you'd want on an old school bike. Nothing to go wrong, nothing electronic. This is rally raid, baby. You can't be running all sorts of complicated, sophisticated electronics when you're out there. Rally raiding, is that a thing? Do people go rally raiding? I suppose so. Never done the Dakar. Maybe never will. But every day can be Dakar for you on this particular bike. I'm teasing. The point of it is, well, I'm not sure what the point of it is. The point of it is it looks phenomenal. It's like Action Man's motorcycle. If he was around today and still politically correct and gender acceptable, which I suspect he's not, then this would be his motorcycle. He would have a Desert X, full-on rally raid. He'd probably ride around in big army boots and a pair of shorts, because that's what Action Man does. It makes you feel very good indeed about life. even going slow. As I said, the engine's a little bit industrial. Okie dokie dokie dokie. Thanks for that. The engine's a little bit industrial, low down, but it makes up for that when it gets wound up to a certain amount of revs that I can't see because the screen is obscured. Things not to like. Is there anything not to like? I think I'm going to stick with things I like. It's compact. The brakes are absolutely fantastic. Loads of feel. Even on these tires there is plenty of grip. The steering is light. The whole bike feels nimble. It feels narrow and nimble. You can see you happily threading this through. I don't have to take it off-road, it's still 14 and a bit grand. I can see you threading this through some sort of woodland trail. I would definitely have one of these. This is a Ducati you would both want and enjoy and feel good about owning. It's not too much, it's not too little, but it's just growly and good fun. Where the heck am I now? I do not know. And it doesn't matter if I know. Feel the turn-in on that. I'm actually being overly cautious just because it's just horrible out here. But the bike runs with you. If anything, it's kind of egging me on and saying, do you know, you're not really trying as hard as you could. I feel like I'm letting the side down here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Price lovely. Whee! It's a Thelma and Louise kind of bike. You can just call it. Say goodbye to your life and all of those responsibilities that we have to carry. Pack up your stuff. Don't take much, because that's adding weight. And just F off. I don't mean you, I mean me. That's what you'd end up doing. If you had one of these for too long, ordinary life would seem a little bit staid and mundane. And you'd end up just packing. Do they do luggage? I haven't investigated. Do they do luggage? This is a review, I should know. But just because it's a review, it doesn't mean I do. Perhaps you know. If you're watching this, let me know. What's the best luggage for a Desert X? Nothing too heavy, none of these big metal boxes. It doesn't want that. It's all light and skittery. It doesn't want big metal boxes. It just wants some sexy Italian soft luggage to put a pair of smart loafers and your smalls in. You can buy some jeans when you get there, because your own will not be stylish enough. This is Italiano. Oh, I really, really, really like this bike. And the key thing to bear in mind is this is not what it's actually designed for. What it's designed for is everywhere on each side of me. Mud, fields, horrible stuff. I was told to keep this review down to a minimum. We didn't need too much content. But I can't. It just makes you want to keep going and going and going. I did not know life could be so beautiful in December. Look at this. got dappled light, we got woodland. We've got a phenomenal toy, which is quite a lot of money, but not overly priced. I've never felt this kind of joy on a Honda Africa Twin. They're very capable and competent. They're good bikes, they're very good bikes. But I'm not always looking for good. I'm looking for something a bit cheeky, a little bit mischievous, something slightly off-grid that's doing a job. It's very satisfying. It's doing a job in a way that they don't normally. I'm feeling the soul of this bike. God, I think I'm becoming a Ducatist or Ducatisti. I know there's Abartisti. What's the Ducati equivalent? And there's vibration, but it just adds to the experience. I'm not feeling it as discomfort. No! You don't want to get to a 30. You don't really want to get to a built-up area. It's not that sort of thing. This is all very pretty, but this is where people live. And people do not like you snooching through. Do you know this bike has you having thoughts as you trundle along at 20, minding your own business? What would it be like with a Terminione? I wonder how much a Terminione costs. I wonder. I don't know if you're allowed to do the accent. I think it may be considered insulting, so I won't do an Italian accent. I'm not sure I could anyway. I'm not carrying on because you just want to go back and do it again. And I won't talk either. I'm going to take this camera off and I'm going to put it on the bike and get some different angles of what it looks like, just to make this video interesting. Try and keep your attention. It shouldn't be too difficult because this thing's fantastic. It's funny when you just kind of scrape everything away back to the sum of its parts, and you don't get too carried away or up yourself. Then you can create something really sweet, really simple, and effective. And that, my friend, is what this bike is all about. Love it. Love it. So with a bike like this, however good it is on the road, and it is very, very good indeed, you're duty bound to take it out and find wherever you can, without upsetting anyone, to get it dirty. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. Yep, this should do it. There is absolutely no doubt, if you watch this video, that you can see this smile was entirely the fault of this motorcycle. Absolutely loved it. Buy one, you'll not be disappointed, unless you're short in the leg, and if you are, stay well away because it's quite tall. There's a couple of little pieces I don't fully understand, like why there's bits of wiring hanging out there and why the rear foot peg rattles and flaps around like an old tin roof. But you know, you forgive it. You forgive it everything because it just gets right inside your soul. What a bike. So if you liked it, then like it, subscribe to the channel, and of course head over to the weekly podcast Talk Time show, which I will be very much looking forward to. Thank you very, very much to Ducati Manchester. May there be many, many more.